happy holidays from ABC7.
Right now on ABC7 News at 6, breaking news from the east side of Indianapolis. A child and adult found dead in their home this afternoon. The latest information is straight ahead. Then a developing story near Muncie. A car plows into the back of a school bus. The details and video just into the newsroom. And caught on camera, a truck crashes through the front of a local supermarket. ABC7 News at 6 starts now.
Now, in high definition, this is ABC7 News at 6.
And welcome to ABC7 News at 6. I'm Cameron Riddle. We begin with breaking news tonight. A 21-year-old man and 7-year-old girl have been found dead in a house on Indianapolis' far east side near Cumberland. The discovery was made just after 3 p.m. in a home in the 600 block of Woodlark Drive. Police said a woman who lived in the home returned home from work and found the bodies of her son and niece in a pool of blood. The identity of the deceased has not been yet released. Investigators are still not disclosing any information at this hour, but we will bring you the latest information when it becomes available. A Facebook post led police to 3 bodies at this house in Fort Wayne, Indiana over the weekend. A man's Facebook status claimed he would kill 2 people and himself and gave an address where the 3 bodies could be found. A woman in Washington State saw the post and called police, who did a welfare check and found the bodies. The coroner determined the 2 19-year-olds died of homicide, and a man believed to be the shooter died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police are still investigating. An Indiana man who makes a living taking pictures of children has been arrested on child porn charges. He was arrested after police found him sleeping at a McDonald's. As Daniel Kemp reports, the suspect's laptop was sitting open in front of him with the incriminating pictures on the screen.
What do you think about the charges tonight, Steve?
I can't comment.
Stephen Brockman walks out of the Harrison County Jail free on bond, less than 6 hours after he was booked in.
This here is a photographer that's at all these sporting events, that are all these schools, is well known, and here he is with child pornography on his computer.
Police say it happened last month at this McDonald's in Corydon. According to a probable cause affidavit, an officer noticed Brockman sleeping inside the restaurant with his laptop open. That's when the officer says he saw multiple pictures of nude children right on the screen.
These are pictures of girls ranging in ages from 2 to 13 is what I would say. Most of them are in that age range. They either sexually suggestive poses.
The laptop landed in the hands of Indiana State Police, where detectives say they found hundreds of the same kind of images. But prosecutor Otto Schalk doesn't think any of the pictures were actually taken by Brockman.
We believe that he either downloaded those on the internet or got them from some other means other than him taking a photograph.
Brockman is known for snapping pictures at middle and high school sporting events and selling them to parents. His website lists hundreds of photos dating from 2008 to this year, including high school games and 5th grade basketball tournaments.
I'm sorry I disappointed everybody, but it had nothing to do with them.
Brockman was charged with 9 felony counts of possessing child pornography. If convicted, he faces up to 3 years behind bars for each count. 3 students and their school bus driver managed to walk away from this crash. It happened late this afternoon along State Road 32 near Selma, Indiana. The SUV plowed into the back of the bus, igniting a fire. Crews moved in and quickly extinguished the flames. The injured driver of the SUV reportedly had to be airlifted to the hospital. Police are still trying to figure out exactly what caused the crash. Well, you've heard it before, hang up and drive. Now a federal safety board is calling for that to happen in all 50 states for all drivers. Greg Black reports.
Phone calls and texts could be a thing of the past for drivers if the National Transportation Safety Board has its way. It's calling for a nationwide ban on cell phone use while driving.
This is becoming the new DUI. It's becoming an epidemic.
The ban would not apply to emergency calls, but it would mean no handsets, no texting, and even no Bluetooth. 10 states already ban all use of handheld cell phones, but no state has a complete ban that includes hands-free devices.
Many times the distraction that is there is not just one that's about manipulation of something or a visual distraction. It's about a cognitive distraction. It's about not being engaged in the task at hand.
The NTSB says the ban would be a life-saving measure. It cited several deadly accidents caused by distracted driving as a reason behind the recommendation.
Any accident, any crash that occurs is one too many, and if we can prevent any of those fatalities from occurring, that is why we issue our recommendations.
In fact, more than 3,000 people died last year in wrecks involving distracted drivers. The NTSB lacks the power to impose restrictions, but its judgments do carry weight with lawmakers. For now, it's up to the states to decide whether to adopt the recommendation. I'm Greg Black reporting.
We are following another developing story at 6 o'clock. We are getting reports of a police officer shot on the city's east side. We're working to get the exact location of the officer's identity and his condition. We'll bring you the latest on that coming up. Plus, you saw it right here on ABC7, the latest Republican presidential debate, this time from Iowa. We'll take a look back at how the candidates did and the $10,000 headlines that may have another GOP hopeful saying, oops. And cops are trained to do multiple things at once and still be able to keep focus, but a Miami officer may need to be reevaluated after he drives his squad car up a telephone pole. We'll show you what he says led up to the crash after this.
Investigate.
How dangerous do you feel it is?
Take action.
You want to say, cut the dang red tape.
Get results.
We will get the word out.
Get the facts, because the facts change lives.
Are they paying your claims? How much of your expenses does that cover?
Ask the tough questions.
News tonight on an investigation you saw here.
Get your hands off the camera.
More investigations, more answers, standing by you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
ABC World News with Diane Sawyer.
Closed captioning now on ABC7.
I got something to say, and everybody needs to hear it. I'm Curtis Payne. I don't let nobody push me around. I'm Curtis Payne.
Curtis Payne.
I'm Curtis Payne. I don't let nobody push me around. I'm Curtis Payne.
Curtis Payne.
Bam! I fight for what I believe in. Bam!
Curtis Payne.
You hold it right there.
It's music to our ears. Back-to-back episodes of House of Pain tomorrow at 8 on TBS. Very funny. This is breaking news from ABC7 News.
ABC7 News at 6 o'clock continues with new breaking news from the city's east side. A Metropolitan Police officer has been shot at East 42nd Street and Mid-Hawker Road. Now, we do not know the name of this officer, but we have learned this happened during a traffic stop. The location of this news comes from just about 10 minutes away from where we reported a 21-year-old and 7-year-old were found dead a few hours ago. And we can confirm that the cases are unrelated. Though many of the officers at the homicide and along with news crews left to 42nd Street where this officer has been shot. Now, we understand that emergency responders are already on the scene and likely headed to Wishart Memorial Hospital. Again, an Indianapolis Metropolitan Police officer has been shot during a traffic stop. That officer's name and condition is unknown at this time, and we will stay with the story through the rest of this newscast and on ABC7 News at 7. Now, in a totally unrelated story, talk about something you really don't see every day. A police car vertical on a utility pole. Luann Terrell has the story and the video you have to see to believe.
Any movement could have brought that vehicle down to the ground, maybe flipped.
A cop car teetering on the brink of disaster. This unusual scene leaving people puzzled and knocking out power to those in the area.
Big crash. After that, I don't see nothing. No light, no nothing, no power.
By 6 a.m., I woke up with no lights.
And here's why. A Miami police cruiser up a light pole hanging by a string, or more accurately, a tension wire. Those living near the corner of 69th Street and Northwest 6th Avenue couldn't believe their eyes.
I've never seen nothing on this except on video games. You know, I done ran the car up the pole, but nah, not in real life.
Well, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, damn, what happened?
I want to know, how did he get up there?
He was actually picking up the pen that he had dropped when he's not paying full attention to the roadway and he starts veering off to the side.
Then for us to look and see him to come out of the car, not a scratch on him. He didn't even look shook up because he was just laughing.
The officer still laughing when 7 News arrived on the scene, people snapping pictures and taking video, posting it on YouTube.
I have to let the world know that a police car has went up on the pole on my block.
Well, you saw it right here on ABC7, the ABC News Republican presidential debate from Iowa. 7.5 million people watched the debate, moderated by our network editor-in-chief, Diane Sawyer and George Stephanopoulos. It was the most watched debate so far. But today, Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney is catching some heat for a pretty big bet. He wagered $10 grand over one of his policies. Lisa Sylvester has more.
It's the bet heard round the world.
I'm just saying, you were for individual mandates, my friend.
You know what? You've raised that before, Rick, and you're simply wrong.
It was true then.
No.
It's true now.
Rick, I'll tell you what. $10,000? $10,000 bet?
I'm not in the betting business, but
okay.
I'll show you this. I'll show you the book.
Mitt Romney's $10,000 bet only seemed to reinforce his rich guy label among some Iowans.
I don't know who's got $10,000 they can throw away with the economy like it is today, but why don't he take that $10,000 and help some people out?
But who would have won that bet between Romney and Perry? The nonpartisan group factcheck.org says
Rick Perry would have been wrong. He would have owed Mitt Romney $10,000.
So it turns out Romney was right. The issue is over Romney's book, No Apology. The hardcover version has this wording. It's portable, affordable health insurance, something people have been talking about for decades. We can accomplish the same thing for everyone in the country, and it can be done without letting the government take over health care. The paperback, which came out later, excludes the line, we can accomplish the same thing for everyone in the country. Romney's critics say in his original version he was calling for a federal individual mandate. But Romney told CNN's Wolf Blitzer that affordable insurance is a goal, one that should be left up to the individual states.
The Massachusetts plan was crafted for Massachusetts for the needs of 8% of our population that didn't have insurance, not for the 92% that did. Obamacare is a plan that takes over 100% of the people in this country and their health care. And that's one of the reasons why people don't want it.
Perry's aim on the individual mandate was a little off. Still, he managed to knock Romney off message.
I think if you're Mitt Romney, you can't afford to waste a day or two of discussion. And this is going to be a significant distraction over the next couple days. Everybody's going to do a story about it. This is what's going to be the buzz on the blogs and on the TV and the radio. So that is a problem.
There will be more coverage of Your Voice, Your Vote 2012 coming up next on ABC World News with Diane Sawyer at 6:30. Of course, that's right after ABC7 News at 6. Snow, ice, and frigid temperatures created a perfect storm for dangerous driving in northern Arizona today. The storm caused drivers to lose control and spin into roadway ditches or other cars. It prompted the Arizona Department of Transportation to close several roads. ADOT says it had nearly 100 snowplows on the streets overnight Monday and into this morning. Here you can see the Flagstaff area, which got more than a foot of snow. 10,000 students also got a snow day there today. Now, we got away with no clouds or rain in the forecast today, but what does the rest of the week hold for the forecast here in central Indiana? Meteorologist PaulBoteat.com has that answer. Now, Paul, it may not look like Christmas, but those frigid morning temperatures surely makes it feel like it's close.
You know what? I know it's getting close to Christmas when it's anniversary time. Now, I'm not talking about you and me. I don't know how long you've been seeing me or hearing me. You may have heard me for a long, long time, like 30 years. But I can tell you that today is the anniversary of me and Mrs. P. We made it. We made it legal on this day way back a long time ago. 30 years. So happy anniversary, Mrs. Poteet, who snapped this photo Saturday morning of the frost not on the pumpkin but on the ivy, the cursed ivy that she has shaken her fist at so many times because it grows so much around these parts. And there you can see a little bit of that frostiness, and why not? I mean, it was like 11 above in Peru on Saturday morning. It was 11 also in South Bend, where they had a fresh coat of 2.9 inches of snow. Well, we didn't have that kind of snow around Indianapolis, but we did get down to 16 degrees officially over the weekend, the coldest temperatures we'd had since last February around the area. But the story is now that we've taken a turn and will actually be above normal all the way through much of this work week. We've been unable to sustain a cold snap anytime recently, and that will continue to be the story as we move into the next several days. For example, how about mid-40s today? It's going up to 45 in Indianapolis, 44 in Madison County, Anderson, 42 in Muncie, and 43 in Lafayette for afternoon high temperatures. And high pressure will rule the roost today, but rain will get close enough that we'll already have clouds by tomorrow, and then some rain chances late Tuesday night. It definitely looks wet on Wednesday. Now, tomorrow I'll update you on the progress of the 6 to 10 day forecast and whether or not we might indeed have a green Christmas around here. And the 7-day forecast for Indianapolis, 45 will be the high temperature today, 32 for the low tonight, 48 on Thursday, and then the clouds come back tomorrow. Maybe some showers by tomorrow night, definitely after midnight, with a low of 39. And warm and wet Wednesday and Thursday, 56 Wednesday, 55 on Thursday. Drying out as we head into a cooler Friday and Saturday, upper 30s then. But once again, we'll recover to 43 and dry weather come next Sunday. There is a chance that that rain in the middle of the week could total up to around an inch again. So even if we don't have a whole lot of snow around, we've got a lot of rain to talk about. Last year at this point in time, Indianapolis had measured 3.8 inches of snow already. And it's already time to go. I've got an anniversary dinner to get ready for. Time to start primping. You never know. You can never really stop dating them, can you? That's the forecast. You can follow me online. Let's go together via the internet. It's paulpoteet.com.
And a congratulations to you and Mrs. P. Paul. Those of you watching can stick with Paul, just like Mrs. Poteet, on paulpoteet.com. And of course, you can follow Paul on Twitter, Facebook, and on paulandtomshow.com. Still to come on ABC7 News at 6. Caught on camera, a car turns a local convenience store into a convenient drive-thru. The damage done and the shocking video you have to see.
May I please be excused to go step in front of a moving train?
It's a family dinner. You suffer with the rest of us.
Everyone's just bowled over with excitement because the middle is back and it's never been bigger.
We are equal.
ABC Tonight.
We have another teacher who hates us?
Worse, he cares. Glee's Gord Overstreet guest stars on the show that belongs at the top of the sitcom pack.
He's a man. I like women. I like their bosoms.
We all do, Brick.
ABC's The Middle. All new tonight, 8/7 Central on ABC.
I know Dad didn't mean to ruin my life.
I did not ruin your life.
But he did move us from the city that never sleeps to a town made of plastic. Now I get to deal with people like this.
Oh, it's a little long. I could hem it.
And this.
Is that your brother?
Yeah. And this.
Dahlia is your buddy.
Buddies are not your friends.
Not necessarily, no.
It's not quite hell.
I think I ruined her life.
It's suburgatory.
Wednesdays, 8:30, 7:30 Central on ABC.
We have new information on the breaking news. An officer shot on Indianapolis' east side. Now, the officer has been identified as 51-year-old Dewey Runnels. Officer Runnels had pulled a car over outside the Carriage House Apartments at 42nd Street and Midhoff Road. Police said it all started just within the last hour when the officer approached the vehicle and one of the three men inside got out and fired shots at Runnels, hitting him in the upper thigh. Officer Runnels then returned fire, killing the suspect. Officer Runnels is at Worcester Memorial Hospital in good condition. Indianapolis Police Chief Paul Soselsky is there and says Runnels is in good spirits. We'll stay with the story and bring you the latest on the news at 7, as well as tonight at 11 on the Nightcast. And finally tonight, a pickup truck barreled through a convenience store in Tennessee with the store owner and others barely escaping in time. The whole incident was caught on camera. Mark Bellinger has more from a woman who saw the whole event unfold.
It was fast, you know. I'm still in shock.
The video is hard to forget and a little hard to watch. A pickup truck crashes through the Columbia Market and hits the owner. Miraculously, he escapes serious injury. Now, Eric Whitaker faces attempted murder charges.
I usually don't come through here on Friday.
Andrea Kreisel saw it happen. She was driving down the road, and Whitaker pulled out in front of her.
I'm right behind him. He drives all the way down, and I see him go across that curb and take that tree out, and at that point I'm on the phone with the 911, and I see him hit the white Cadillac and drive through the store, and I'm like, oh my God, he just drove through the store.
Kreisel is a nurse. She thought Whitaker was having a heart attack or something. She pulled into the parking lot to help and saw the store owner.
He had just gotten knocked back that way, and you could actually see him get up and walk away from that, and then he came outside and sat at that pump with one shoe off. I'll never forget it.
Then she noticed a frightened woman.
She's just shaking, you know. I'm like, is everyone okay? And then that's when I turn around and I notice the guy's out at my car, and I'm like, oh my God, he's still in my car.
Watch what happens next. That's a bread truck. Her car was totaled. And listen to this. Whitaker's insurance company tells her they won't pay for the damage because it was a criminal act.
So I'm just out of car. And it's okay though. You know, it's a small price to pay, really. Just to know everybody's okay. Nobody lost their life, you know.
And that is all for this busy edition of ABC7 News at 6. For meteorologist Paul Poteet, I'm Cameron Wilbur, and we thank you for watching. We're coming back for more news at 7 and 11. You should too.